Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As we promised in the previous videos, as we're talking about the information literacy, we said that in our next video we shall be dealing with the primary sources of information. So welcome back everyone once again. Today we are going to explore the foundation of credible research of primary sources of information. These primary sources of information offer first-hand accounts and original data, providing unparalleled insight into our topics. Let's dive into the world of primary sources and discover the power of authentic information. So, the insight of the primary sources of information have been designed in form of slides where we shall get an elaborate idea about the primary source of information. Once again, this presentation is by Akot Restio Sandra. Yeah, the primary source of information this time is going to give us an elaborate part. So this will be an overview of what we shall be talking about. We shall first define what we call the primary sources of information and give one of the few examples where we shall get to know the original first-hand records of events, data, or research created at the time of the event or by individual directly involved. So that's the meaning of the primary sources of information. And a few examples of the information sources include the diaries, the interviews, the photographs, the government documents, and research reports. So when you look at these few examples, we realize that indeed they are first-hand, and we realize that indeed the original and the people who get this information are directly involved in the act of getting the information. So that is basically what we can talk about or introduce from the basics of the primary sources of information. So let's go to the next slide to see elaborately what we mean by primary sources of information. So here then we go to the different types of the primary sources of information. So these include the historical events. So in these historical events include letters, diaries, speeches, and government records. So realize that they're also indeed first-hand. When you go to the speeches, of course you are hearing them yourself. So they become first-hand and they become reliable since they are first-hand. So after learning all the different sources of information, all the different types of the sources of information, we shall be able to identify which one that is reliable to use. So another type is a scientific research, lab experiments. In a scientific research, you have those lab experiments, research records, and field studies. We also have the audio and visual material photographs and oral histories. We have artifacts and physical objects, which include coins, tools, clothing, official surveys. We also have the statistical data, which include the census reports, economic data, and official surveys. So those are the different types of the primary sources of information. Let's go to the next basic about the primary source of information. I shall find them in the next slide. So we get into the next. So we shall go to the different importances of the primary sources of information. The first importance is they provide direct and filtered access to historical fluctuation information. So when we realize that it is first-hand, of course, it provides the direct and filtered access to information. So the next one is they allow researchers to analyze events from the perspective of those who experience them, making them accurate, of course. So the next one, we have they support authenticity and accuracy in research and studies. They also help in drawing independent conclusions rather than relying on secondary interpretations since they're first-hand. So this makes them so reliable. So that has been all about the different primary sources and the different basics in the primary sources of information. So primary sources of information are the building blocks of rigorous research and informed decision-making. By leveraging these original materials, we can gain a deeper understanding of historical events, scientific phenomena, and social studies. Remember, primary sources empower us to separate fact from fiction, to challenge assumptions, and to construct knowledge from the ground up. Thank you for joining me on the journey into the world of primary sources. Please subscribe to my channel and like the videos and continue watching more videos to gather more insight of the different sources of information. So in our next video, we shall be talking about the secondary source of information. Please don't miss. Bye-bye.